rumors are Kamala Harris has officially been replaced as of January. I thought she wasn't the border. No, of course we know she's the border, but not anymore. As of January, once Donald Trump swears in, we're in charge now. Reminds me of that scene in Batman with Bane. Do you feel like you're in charge? Because they're not anymore. A friend of ours, a friend of mine, friend of ours, you get it? Friend of ours? I'm an Italian kid from Queens. A friend of ours texted me this morning. He's like, how do you feel things are going? I said, now with Tom Homan and the announcement, by the way, just minutes ago, of Stephen Miller as Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, that border's going to be sealed shut. What do they say down the South? Right quick. Oh, yeah. I'd like to see Rick Scott get in there. Listen, no choice is perfect, folks. Every politician is a downside. I get it. Of all the choices we have, that's all we've got. There are 3 people running. I think he's the best one for us in the MAGA agenda. I got a big show today, a lot to talk about. Most importantly of all, though, what do we celebrate today, folks? Forget everything else. Forget everything else for a second. We celebrate our veterans. To you men and women, you heroes out there that put your asses on the line. You didn't get paid a lot of money. You get almost no recognition for what you did, but you were willing to die and bleed for this place we call home. God bless you today. You know we love you, and you will always have a home here. We love you. Listen to me. We love you. We don't like you. We love you. Thank you so much. Chat, fill it up. Big thanks for our veterans today. If you are a veteran today, put your hand up in the chat because you deserve it. God bless you. Hey, Beam Cyber Sales here. Bongino listeners enjoy up to 50% off at shopbeam.com/Bongino. Use code Bongino. Don't miss Beam's biggest sale of the year. I got that. I'm going to open the show with something funny today out of Playbook. There may be self-deportation going on. Of illegal immigrants? No. Of legal liberals. I don't know what's better. Hey, the Feds dropped interest rates, so you need to give my friends a call at American Financing today. Now's the perfect time to consolidate debt and reduce your monthly expenses. A lot of us have been forced to use credit cards because of the ridiculous prices at the grocery store, power, and even childcare. The debt's really expensive with credit card rates being insanely high. But with mortgage rates dropping, now's the time to wipe that debt out. American Financing is helping homeowners just like you save over $800 a month on average. You're even closing some in as fast as 10 days. And if you start today, you may delay 2 mortgage payments. There's no upfront fees to find out how much you can save. Give American Financing a call today. The number is 888-994-7660, 888-994-7660. The website is a .net, not a .com. I met the owner of this company. He's a really great guy. He's eager to help you. Go to AmericanFinancing.net, AmericanFinancing.net. Save yourself some money. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. All right, fellas, on this Veterans Day where we celebrate our glorious heroes, I've got some great news for you right out of the chute. Ladies and gentlemen, the self-deportation may have begun. Of illegal immigrants? No, not just of illegal immigrants, of legal liberals who are driving the country crazy and opening the door in an open border to illegal immigrants. Politico, this morning, paragraph of the day. Trump critics worry he'll target them for retributions. Leave this up. This is hilarious. Does this not make you guys laugh? Donald Trump is the only person who has been targeted for retribution. Just about every single liberal lunatic in the country who's an AG or a prosecutor has either threatened to or filed fake charges against Donald Trump. And Trump critics worry they'll be next. A private attorney, Mark Zaid, who's a crazy person, has said he consulted with clients about how they can best protect themselves from this Trump administration. Zaid has advised some to leave the country before Trump is sworn in and live abroad until they have a clear sense of whether he is bent on retaliation. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, I'm looking at you, folks. Do you not support this plan? What has 2 thumbs and supports this? This guy, Mark Zaid, you are my new hero. Please tell, what are you laughing at? This is a great plan. Are you on, Justin's not on board? Guy, are you on board? Michael? We're all, but there's 4 people here. If Edith left, her show is done. Kicked ass today. There's 4. We all agree. 4-0. We are with you, Mark Zaid. Liberals who feel like Trump is going to do what you did to Trump? Yes, please go. Remember Motley Crue? Girl, don't go away mad. Just go away. Just do us a favor. Yeah, don't come back. live abroad. You say you love the EU and all this other, you love the democratic socialist lifestyle. Go ahead. Matter of fact, I'm going to suggest Tom Homan, the new border czar. Tom, if you're listening, we love you. Tom, maybe we can finance their travel. Maybe first class. Can we get a give, send, go going? Yes, that's the thing. Justin's correct. These will not be round trippers. These will be one way. And by the way, leave your passport with us after you leave. After you check in, just leave your passport. We will follow you over to the country's the migration checkpoint at the border checkpoint. Once you check in, we take your passport. Are you cool with that? We will finance your. I may hire a private jet and charter one to get you guys out of there. So there you go. I saw this morning in a late edition to the show, and I thought, yes, this thing is turning out even better than I thought. Folks, the Trump effect is real, bro. It is real. It is already happening. He's not even sworn in yet till January. We don't even have the new Congress, new Senate sworn in. We have nothing. But the Trump effect is real. Byron Donalds, who's a congressman from Florida, a great guy. He says, here, this is just 72 hours after winning the election. Throw that up on the screen. First female chief of staff appointed. New York City stopped giving debit cards to illegals. Companies bringing production home already. Stock market peaking out. Bitcoin peaking out. Migrant caravans are breaking up. Qatar kicks out Hamas. Hamas wants an immediate end to the war. The Taliban shit in their pants and say they want a new chapter. China wants now peaceful coexistence. All of a sudden, Russia is ready to speak with the U.S. The EU wants to buy gas from us and not Russia. And Ukrainian leaders are in talks with Trump and Elon. The guy isn't even the president. He's only been the president-elect for not even a week. Not even close to a week. Didn't even happen. A race wasn't even called till Wednesday. We're not even there yet. And all of a sudden, the world is changing. Folks, do you still feel good? Are you still riding the high from last week like I am? Because I don't know about you, but, work is, I love my job. Don't get me wrong. It's not a day I don't like coming to work, but there are days you like it more. Like Wednesday, when I knew we were winning this thing. I woke up on a Monday, and usually Mondays are hard for me. Shaking off the cobwebs. I had a lot of tequila this weekend with Paula, man. We were like having a good time on Saturday. Way too good of a time, you know what I mean? And man, I'll tell you, I was like Monday, just chomping at the. I even got in here early. Did I not, Michael? I usually get here at 10. It was like 9:13 when I got here because I'm just like ready to go. Folks, the Trump effect is real. But my humble opinion, here is the most important announcement we've seen yet. You're going to see a lot of things in the coming days. Elise Stefanik, you got Tom Homan, the appointment, you got Stephen Miller, Susie Wiles, who's great, is going to be the chief of staff. I think it's a great selection. Listen, I have my opinions about people. I know some of these people a little bit differently. I haven't interacted with them. They've always been kind to me and kind to the MAGA agenda I put forward for President Trump. But this is the most important announcement yet. President Trump jumped in front of the camera immediately. He's been putting out these short videos. This is critical. He is about to take back the First Amendment. This is about a 4-minute video. I'm only going to play about a minute of it. You'll get the point. But the First Amendment, ladies and gentlemen, if we can't talk, we can't run for office. If our candidates and our MAGA crowd and our influencers, whatever you want to call them, cannot speak out on platforms like everyone else, we don't have anything. Here's President Trump taking it to the deep state censorship regime. This is the best thing I've heard all week. Check this out.
Today, I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens.
Folks, it gets me a little emotional, man. There's a lot of things. Can I just talk to you into the camera here candidly for a second? Our show is obviously live. It's not scripted. There's teleprompter content other than the clips and stuff. No one tells me what to say. I've been through a lot with the free speech thing. You have too. I'm not meaning to minimize anyone else's role. I hope you understand that. But I've really been through a lot, both ideologically. It's obviously my passion, the First Amendment, but I put a lot of skin in the game with a lot of investments. Early on, I was involved with Parler. That story, believe me, I promise you, whatever you think you know, you have no idea. I'm telling you. I don't care what anyone's told you about that. That is a very, very complicated case that 99% of people who comment about have no idea. The bottom line is it hurt. It hurt bad. I poured my heart and soul into giving you an alternative platform out there to speak. The big tech companies and the deep state just wiped it off the face of the earth in a very long, complicated story. That parlayed into Rumble because I wasn't going to give up. It parlayed into paralleleconomy.com. If you have Stripe and you don't like it, paralleleconomy.com is a processor. Rumble, I got involved with them. I don't want to belabor the point, but I'm telling you, my skin has been in the game a long time. My time, my money, my heart, my passion, my soul, my brain, everything. And to see this thing finally turning around. We're not there yet. The censorship regime, I don't make any mistake, it's still very powerful. Elon can tell you, Chris from Rumble can tell you, Devin Nunes at True Social can tell you, it's still powerful. But every day it's getting weaker and weaker, and they're losing the institutional levers of power they need as an enforcement mechanism. And once Donald Trump gets into office and institutes this executive order, folks, I'm telling you, we have about 2 or 3 years to crush this thing, and we are going to be so back. Companies are going to be begging to speak to this MAGA audience that is now the majority of the country, begging. And you'll be back too. These platforms are going to realize there's no future in censorship. Folks, the Trump effect is real, not just for censorship. The wins, the W's, go call them the dubs. The W's just keep on coming. Here's what happened this weekend. Here's about 15 seconds of one of the EU commissioners talking about how, oh my gosh, look, now I think we should buy a lot of liquid natural gas from the United States. Gee, what changed since last week? I don't know. Maybe the election of Donald Trump as president-elect. Watch this.
We still get a lot of LNG via Russia, from Russia. And why not replace it by American LNG, which is cheaper for us and brings down our energy prices?
How do you think that happened? How do you think that happened? None of this is by mistake. Folks, we could be looking at the greatest 2-year run we've had in modern American history. Why do you not say 4? Because we got a midterm then. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's deal with chunks of time that are digestible, manageable, and we could put together a 2-year plan while we have what is 99% sure to be a House majority, 100% sure to be a Senate majority, and 100% sure we're going to have a White House staffed with loyalists if we're starting with Homan and Steve Miller. Okay? I'm very, very comfortable that we are going to have a rock-solid White House, unlike last time where we had a lot of traitors on the inside. Folks, there's more coming too. The good news, this is probably the finest Monday show I've ever done. I'm bringing you so much good news. Enjoy every minute. Smile, man, like the Joker without the serial homicide. Smile, kids. Everything's coming together. Everything. Look at this one. Donald Trump. The Bongino army strikes again. No one gives us credit, but that's okay. I kind of love the fact, what about you in the chat? You guys dig the fact that the mainstream media constantly ignores us and we just creep up ninja style and we change everything? Don't you love that? That we out there, the Bongino army, boom, we move. When I move, you move. You ever hear, when we move. You did it again, Bongino army. But let me tell you something. I want to give the Trump team credit because they listen. A lot of asshole politicians don't listen. The Trump team, they have their ear to the base like no one I've ever seen before. True Social post by Real Donald Trump. I will not be inviting former Ambassador Nikki Haley or Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Will not be inviting. Does that say not? Oh, it does. I will not be inviting to join the Trump administration currently in formation. I enjoyed working with them. I'd like to thank them for their service. Make America great again. Listen, I'm going to just put this out there, and I hope you guys understand. This is not personal for me, okay? I'm not the guy who gets invited to cocktail parties. Ask me, where's Justin, you over there? Ask me how much time I spent at Mar-a-Lago this weekend. I spent zero. You will not see me in Politico Playbook. They have that spotted section. Spotted. You will not see that. I'm not saying I won't go to them. I'm just saying I did not spend time glad handing this weekend, cutting deals. Can I get this? I did not do that. Again, what is two thumbs in the cut deals? This guy. I'm not looking for shit. I'm looking for one thing. You know what I'm looking for? The same thing you're looking for. Protect Donald Trump at all costs. Protect him at all costs. We weren't powerful enough 8 years ago. My show was probably a quarter of the size. We had some JU Ice, but not enough. We're in charge now. We're the #1 live stream in the world. Folks, Guy, I showed you those numbers, correct? Us compared to that entire platform. You remember what I'm talking about? Guy's like, whatever. I'm just going to tell you something. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I don't want to give up the numbers. I'm telling you this, though, and the data backs it up. You have no idea how big you are out there. This show on Rumble is bigger than entire platforms out there, you know. One of these days, maybe I'll get to show you that. You'll be stunned. We're not going to waste any time cutting deals and mixing and mingling. We are going to protect Donald Trump. And people like Mike Pompeo, no good. And the hits just keep on coming. Donald Trump on Truth Social. He's now planning on, he goes after Gavin Newsom, which is a great idea because Donald Trump is closing the gap significantly in places like California, being ruined by liberal Democrats. The beautiful, unbelievably prosperous state of California. It is. Silicon Valley, you've got what is California, the third largest economy in the world? It is. Now, it's prosperous despite liberals destroying it. I wish these liberals would self-deport too. And there he is, if you go to the end of this, talking about how we're going to move towards national voter ID. Let me tell you something. If they can hear it, I will be demanding voter ID and proof of citizenship as a necessary part and component of the voting process. You implement voter ID, don't laugh. We got a chance in the next couple decades to actually flip New York, possibly California. Oh, look at this shocking map, courtesy of Newsmax. You all are going to be stunned. Meaning you're not going to be stunned. States Harris won versus the ID requirement. So if you're listening on Apple and Spotify, it's a simple map of the United States. And you'll notice that pretty much every single state Kamala Harris won, almost, that there is no photo ID required. Is that weird? Is that a coincidence? That's surely, he says, surely it's a coincidence. And if you've ever seen the movie Airplane, don't call me Shirley. Surely that's just one big coinky dink. Folks, if Donald Trump can get this stuff pushed through, I need a favor from you, though. I need a favor from you. We have what is going to be a probably historically slim House majority on the House side. The Senate, we've got a buffer. Murkowski and Collins are going to sabotage everything. It doesn't matter. We'll still, even with them, we'll still have actually 2 because we'll have 51. And even if we lose another, J.D. Vance will be the tiebreaker. I'm not too worried about the Senate side. You are going to have rhinos in the House that I promise you are going to try to sabotage us. The Bongino army in the next 2 years. We're not done. It's Monday. It's get back to work. Everybody's smiling today. Things are going great. We're happy warriors. Love it. But make no mistake, we got to get back to work now because these House members are going to need a push, especially on things like voter ID. Because what do you think? Folks in the chat, let's see the first one who gets it. Folks in the chat, what do you think is going to happen the first time a national voter ID for federal elections bill gets pushed out there? What are the Democrats going to say? Who gets it first in the chat? Let's see. Danny Botts is watching. Who's first? Come on, someone. Yes! Who is it? Supernova Kane. You're a racist in all caps. Yes, sir. Supernova Kane. You get the... Oh, they're going to... Now everybody's chiming in now. We all think alike, man. We're simpatico. You know it's going to happen. Jim Crow, 7.2. It's all Jim Crow. You're all racist. They don't want black people to vote. And what are we going to do? We're going to go back and go, really? So you're suggesting black men and women don't know how to get a driver's license? That sounds That sounds kind of racist-y to me. A little bit racist-y. Look at it. Look at the chat. You guys are unbelievable. You guys, man, you're so ahead of it. I love that I ask a question and everybody's like, bam, right away. We blow that chat right up. Yes, it's going to happen. So weak-kneed rhinos are going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be accused of being a fake racist. Instead of realizing nobody actually believes this. Donald Trump cleaned up with the black vote and the Hispanic vote. We need it. Voter ID, get it done. All right, quick break. Here's what I got coming up. Donald Trump released another video this week, and I'll play about a minute of it. This is almost as important as the first one. He is going to war with the deep state right now, and believe me, he ain't hiding it. Hey, you having trouble sleeping or staying asleep? Listen, I've been there. It's not just about feeling tired the next day. It's about the toll poor sleep takes on your life. But guess what? There's hope on the horizon. Beam's Dream Powder. They sent me some to try a long time ago. I've been using it ever since. Seeing we're sleeping well, we're sharper, more focused, and ready to tackle whatever life throws away. I took some last night because I was on kind of the weekend schedule. Took some Beam. It has in it a powerful all-natural blend. Doesn't cause the next day grogginess either. It's reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin. I really love the apigenin. And melatonin to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. There's never been a better time to finally try Dream. Shop their cyber sale. Get up to 50% off when you visit shopbeam.com/Bongino. You've heard me talk about this product all year. It's your chance to give it a shot at the lowest price of the year. So head on over to shopbeam.com/Bongino for up to 50% off. That's shopbeam.com/Bongino for up to 50% off. Check it out. Get yourself a good night's sleep. Folks, the deep state has been put on alert. This is one of the best Monday shows we have ever done. I'm not talking about the content. I'm talking about the feeling of joy. What can we, you guys agree with me out there listening? You guys agree with me that the first 2016 election, which was unexpected, nobody expected him to win outside of the diehards like us. It was unexpected. There was staffing chaos. It wasn't his fault. He just wasn't a politician. This doesn't feel this way at all this time. It feels clean. It feels surgical. It feels like they know exactly what they're doing. It feels message-oriented, and it feels like we finally have an opportunity to get this thing done, whereas the deep state, there's this state of confusion, and while the confusion is there is when we got to move. Take advantage of the fog of war, and that's what's happening right now. Here's Donald Trump putting the deep state folks on notice that you're done. You're fired, you're out, especially the ones in the intel community that screwed this place up. Check this out.
My plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all, and corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible.
What's the time now for, folks? Haven't said it in a few days. More. Kylo Ren style. More, kids. More. Just keep piling it on. Just keep. When you pile it on, you think that pile's high enough? Pile on more. And then you're like, that pile's high enough. No, it isn't. Pile on more. Well, I think we've reached the peak. No, you haven't. More. While the fog of war and the chaos on the left and the circular firing squad and the self-deportations and the recriminations and the Biden did it, Kamala did it, Kamala sucks, Biden sucks. Now is the time to move. What did I tell you about a year ago? Come on, folks in the chat, P1s, you know what I'm talking about. What did I say to you? Here's how you handle the first 100 days. Do you remember this conversation? If you do, chime in. I said, you hit him with a Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller, oh my gosh, deportation. And then you hit him with a Tom Homan. Tom Homan, oh my gosh. And then you hit him with the Susie Wiles. And then you hit him with, hopefully, Rick Scott. And then you hit him. They won't know what to do. They're still freaking out over the Trump going to war with censorship. And then you hit him with the deep state memo. They don't know. Remember we having this conversation? This is how you, do you notice the media doesn't know what to do right now? They're sitting there like, holy shit, let's all leave the country. Yes, more of you leave. By the way, the shirt is done. If you want it, up to you. We do a lot of charitable donations because of these shirts. More. 4 more years. Pick one up if you want. Stored up on Gino.com. Totally up to you. Paula does it for you guys. But check it out. This is the sample they just rushed over. More, kids. More. Every day more. Folks, when you think you've had enough, what comes next? That's right, more. But then you've really had enough. What comes next? The answer is more. Más. Yes, in foreign languages, the answer is más. Maybe we'll put a Spanish language edition out, thanking the Hispanic community for their historic support of Donald Trump. That's actually not a bad idea. Paula would love that. More. Más. Not Roberto Duran, not no más. Más. More. Mucho más. Bring it, kids. Bring it. Never enough. We're piling on even more. And just when you think it's enough, like we've done enough let's take a break and go and pop some Chablis or whatever. Let's not. I don't even know what that is. I saw it in a show last night. Is it a wine or something like that? Whatever. Not my bag of donuts. I drink tequila. Just when you think you've hit more, this happens. Trump appoints Tom Homan to replace current border czar Kamala Harris, who is claiming she's not the border czar, but now is going to have to relinquish the border czar. Is there a little crown for that? Is there like a little trophy they get? Like, border, here you go, Tom. Is going to be replaced by Tom Homan. Some of you will remember this amazing hit Tom Homan did on TV with 61 Minutes. Remember, they were called 60 Minutes. They added a minute for Kamala Harris. They're now 61 Minutes. It was a great hit. Our new border czar replacing Kamala Harris, talking about deportations. One of the greatest sound bites you're going to see this year on the border. Check this out.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
See, here's the thing. When you break the law, I unfortunately, I've known people in my life who've been arrested. I was a New York City cop myself and an agent. I've arrested people. You don't take the kids to jail. See, that's not how that works. So if you are a person in the United States, citizen or not, and you get arrested for felonious mopery in the umpteenth degree, don't do felonious mopery, big trouble, and you go to jail, they don't take the kids and the wife too. It's not like that movie, the Chris Hemsworth movie, where he's got to go extract people. The second one where the bad guy takes his wife and kids to prison. That's not the way it works. When you break the law, you go to prison. You are separated. Why we would make a separate category of incarceration for people who aren't even American citizens, who have broken the law and entered illegally outside of a point of entry, I don't understand how any sane person can argue that. And I would make the case to you, it's one of the reasons they got their asses kicked by Hispanic voters on the Texas border in droves, the Democrats, that is, because they want special rules for people who aren't even citizens. I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't know if I've ever told you a story. My wife may not like it, but I'm going to tell you anyway. My wife's a legal citizen to this country. We had some serious problems with immigration when we got here. I promise you, it was obviously all bullshit. My wife was like a high salary VP for a huge lobby firm. She was an internet and database developer, okay? My wife was not some criminal, crazy person in this country who snuck in like trafficking drugs or something, all right? We had a lot of problems. It was ridiculous what she went through. They accused her of all kinds of crap. We had to write letters and stuff. If I told you the story, you'd be like, no way. This is a long time ago, 20 years ago or something like that. They threatened her, if you don't write this letter, like we could deport you. Do you think there was any concern about a family separation? We had kids. Nobody cared. Meanwhile, she was here legally with all the proper paperwork. So I'm sorry. I don't have any sympathy for people who broke the law, entered illegally, and now want to stay. You can go back. Whoever you came with, you got to go back And you can try it the right way later on after some penalty period. That's it. There's no special rules for you. Sorry. And if that hurts to hear, you should have done it the right way. And I know you feel the same way. Folks, you can always gauge the success of a tactic you're taking politically by what? The reaction of your enemy. You watch it. Please remember, this is one of my golden rules of this show for political strategy. Measure, if your enemy's ignoring a tactic, I'm telling you it's not successful. It's not. Whatever you're doing, they want you to continue doing. I've always used the example of Obama and the birth certificate thing, how I was behind the scenes with that whole thing in the White House, and their conversations were bizarre. They want you to do certain stuff when they ignore it. When they freak out about something, you know what you're doing. You need to double down and hit the gas pedal. I'm going to show you this Fox News clip now. The Biden team is panicked about the first 3-4 days of Donald Trump being the president-elect. They don't know how to respond. All right, last break, and then we'll get back to that. Hey, nothing delivers comfort and joy like the unrivaled quality and taste of Omaha Steaks. Skip the holiday hustle and bustle. Save 50% off gourmet gifts site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Get a $30 reward card when you shop early. Score an extra $30 with promo code Bongino. It's a huge discount. We just stocked up with Omaha Steaks in our house. We're ready for the busy election season. There were a lot of late nights in Omaha. Helped us get through it. We're obviously pretty hungry. We got home with 5 generations of experience. They deliver the world's best steak experience, and the gifting experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to deliver the perfect gift with thoughtfully curated gift packages starting at $89.99. From legendary steaks to mouthwatering desserts and more, save 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $30 off with promo code Bongino and a $30 reward card when you shop early. That's 50% off at Omaha, O-M-A-H-A, omahasteaks.com, and an extra $30 off with promo code Bongino. Minimum purchase may apply. Visit omahasteaks.com for details. And our last sponsor today, folks, check this company out. I just got a bunch of samples, and I got to tell you, I'm really impressed. You got to sleep in comfort, right? Cozy Earth. The ultimate Christmas gift is luxurious sleep. You hear me talk about it all the time. With sheets and jammies from Cozy Earth, you and everyone will sleep in luxury in your household. Cozy Earth uses only the best fabrics and textiles to enhance that. Cozy Earth's bamboo sheet set, absolutely love it with their bamboo pajama set. Cozy Earth's goal is to help you create a sanctuary in your house. With Cozy Earth, you could transform your space into an elevated haven where serenity and renewal intertwine effortlessly. Cozy Earth sheets are so breathable, you'll sleep several degrees cooler, which is important for me, and are made with durable weave fabric that won't pill, guaranteed for 10 years. Cozy Earth prides itself on the responsible production of its products. Cozy Earth bedding and bath products have a 10-year warranty. Cozy Earth believes in them. Wrap the ones you love in luxury with Cozy Earth. Visit CozyEarth.com/Bongino. Use my exclusive 40% off code Bongino to give the gift of luxury this holiday season. You're going to love it. Super comfortable. That's CozyEarth.com/Bongino. If you get a post-purchase survey, just say you heard about Cozy Earth from the Dan Bongino Show podcast. Check them out. The sheets are just ridiculously comfortable. Thank you, Cozy Earth. All right, back to the show. Always gauge your success by the reaction of your political opponents. I want you to listen to this Fox News report. Yeah, this is the Ducey one, where they are freaking out. This is Peter Ducey, who I saw on Twitter. I got to tell you, I didn't get this from insiders or anything. I heard maybe in the running for press secretary. I don't know if to be true or not. I saw it on Twitter. I'm just throwing that out there because you may have seen it too. I have no inside sources on that. I'm just being straight with you. But Peter's a pretty good go-getter. But here he is reporting on how they're trying to Trump-proof the White House right now. They're freaking out. Check this out.
It's going to be really interesting to hear how President Biden threads the needle today about what comes next with this peaceful transfer of power, because that's not going to happen until January. And it's not like Joe Biden is just going to stop trying to implement his agenda. You've got Jen O'Malley Dillon from the campaign that just lost talking about how the work is about to begin to Trump-proof the administration. Joe Biden next week is going to head to South America. He's going to try to put his fingerprints on as many different things as possible before a president with a completely different worldview comes in and tries to undo it.
Now, I don't even want to call it a good news, bad news kind of thing, because it really hasn't, thankfully. Since Tuesday night, it's just been a litany of really good news. I'd really like to see Rick Scott take this thing in the Wednesday Senate Majority Leader vote. I would. So, we may have to balance some good news and some not so great news. I didn't want to call it bad news, but I do want to be candid with you here in a kind of a not so good news thing. We have a lot to clean up, folks. The Biden White House has created a mess. Everything from energy policy to a war on, how they allocate resources in Medicare, to tax policy, to massive distortions in the tax code with the Inflation Production Act. There's a big mess to clean up. And I don't want anyone under any illusions that this is going to be easy. It has started out amazing. We were on a great track. But I'm telling you, we've got a massive mess to clean up. Here's a perfect example. We can't even do emergency management right. Remember this New York Times story when a bunch of you out there on social media were like, hey, man, is the Biden administration making partisan decisions with this hurricane response with FEMA money? In other words, targeting Trump people. And the New York Times was like, this is misinformation. Our batting average, Justin, on conspiracy theories is 1,000. And ladies and gentlemen, when I say our, I mean the Bongino Army. I'm not talking about me personally. You guys said, no, Dan, something's wrong with this FEMA response. And the New York Times said you guys were crazy. They said Trump's false claims about the federal response to Hurricane Helene. They note that they falsely accused of spending disaster funds on migrants. That wasn't false. And neglected areas that had voted for Republicans. They said that was false, that was false. Some of you know where I'm going with this. Daily Wire, exclusive. Internal messages obtained by the Daily Wire show a FEMA official ordered relief workers in Florida to help houses with Trump signs, to not help houses with Trump signs. Excuse me, big difference. There's the message right there. Avoid homes advertising Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, Karate Man strikes again. Sidekick, too. Roundhouse. The Karate Man strikes again. The batting average is 1,000. I wish I could swing this thing. I'm a righty, but because my shoulder, look at this, sweet. Watch this. Sweet like Will Clark. Look at this. Oh, yeah. That right down. Cut right down through the ball. Again. Remember when Biden came out and said, that's all bullshit. Partisan response to the North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina hurricane. You guys are all disinformation. I'm going to sick Michael Chertoff and all of these insiders on you to censor you. Remember that? Here's Biden himself saying it was all disinformation, except for the fact that, yeah, it wasn't. Check this out.
These lies are also harmful to those who most need help. Lives are on the line. People are in desperate situations. Have the decency to tell them the truth. So let me say this. To all the people impacted by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton, despite the misinformation and lies, the truth is we're providing the resources needed to rescue, recover, and rebuild.
It's all disinformation, folks, until it isn't. Your batting average is a freaking 1,000. You guys are amazing out there. You're never wrong. Your instincts on these people are always correct every single time. You are never wrong. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions, been getting a lot of people reaching out, DMing us. We leave the message thing open on pretty much all of our social media platforms. I'm going to be candid with you. We don't read them all because we just can't. It's just a large volume, but I try to take a nice sample. Once in a while, I'll send a message back on but I never contact you and ask you for anything. However, just one quick thing. If anyone's ever contacting you, asking you, go to a different site and talk to me, I promise that's not me. We've had way too many people get scammed, okay? However, I will respond back with a thanks sometimes with some of the messages. A lot of people are asking me this question, a ton. Like, Dan, you think there's going to be a wake-up call on the left? And I've said to you it's a complicated answer. And I hate when people say that because it sounds like they're avoiding it, and I'm not. I'm going to bring the receipts. Yes, the answer is there are some people on the left who are sensing there's a problem. I know that's shocking because we so associate these people with being immune to facts and being dense. But you got to remember, they want to win. And they got their asses kicked so bad. Folks, do you understand the scope of this victory in this divided country? This isn't the Reagan era. Donald Trump won every single swing state. And by the way, it wasn't even close. He won the popular vote. We won the Senate. We held the House. We won state houses back. Liberal referenda went down across the country. Almost nothing worked. Even the abortion thing in Florida died a death for the left. This thing was a freaking mess, a total disaster for them. Is there a wake-up call? Some people who are more tactic oriented, Clinton like, mercenary. They're interested in winning. There's a little bit of a wake up call there. However, the far left, I promise you, the AOC crowd is not only not experiencing a wake up call, is actually getting crazier. I want you to watch this just psycho on CNN flip out when this commentator starts talking about boys and girls sports. Yes, boys and girls sports. He just doesn't want to acknowledge it's even happening. He loses his mind. There's no wake-up call with this guy. Check this out.
I think there are a lot of families out there who don't believe boys should play girls' sports.
They're not boys. I'm not going to listen to transphobia at this table. I am not going to listen to you call a trans girl a boy.
Are you going to allow me to finish my explanation?
When you use a word that's a slur, I'm going to interrupt. That's not how it is. They're not boys. They're not boys. They're not playing girls' softball. I'm not going to sit there and listen to that.
Let's reset for a second because, look, this is a really heated issue, right? And Sharmichael, I know you. I know that you understand that people have different views on this. I think out of respect for Jay, let's try to talk about this in a way that is respectful.
Okay, so let me rephrase this since I'm being targeted here.
I don't you're not, just to be clear, you are not being targeted.
But I am, but it's okay.
I'm specifically saying that I know that you are not intending to be transphobic.
He should know that I'm not. But he wants to sit here and bloviate.
But I want you to...
Folks, your best hope tactically, and I don't say this lightly because it really is bad for the country, but there's nothing we can do to get through to that lunatic, nothing. They are boys and they are men. They are not women. You can call them trans women. You can call them whatever you want. They were born boys and they are now men, many of them. You claiming they're something other than they are changes absolutely nothing. And you attacking this gentleman as transphobic for bringing up what is biological reality is the reason you politically got your asses handed to you. You want to win, put this guy on TV more. This guy on CNN, this clown, turns off so many Americans. I swear the Republican Party should finance his travel to TV stations and put him on TV every day. I'm not going to let you talk about that. I'm not going to. Shut up. Stop it. Shut your mouth. Notice the other guy's completely calm. Not this lunatic. You want to keep winning elections? Get a give, send, go and send that guy around the country. Put him on local TV stations everywhere. Imagine you're a parent whose kid just got a volleyball spiked in their face by a fully grown man. It broke your kid's nose. You go to speak up and this guy says, I don't want you talking about it. That is not a boy. Really? It's not a boy. That's it's not. What are you talking about? Do you understand how genetics works? Oh my gosh! Please put that guy on TV everywhere. You want to call yourself a girl? You do whatever you want. I believe in the constitutional Republican freedom. I'm serious. Call yourself whatever you want. You want to call yourself by a different name? You want to tell everyone you're a girl? You do you. There's nothing illegal about it. But this guy screaming at people, demanding that I acknowledge this unbiological fake reality, keep it up. Keep it up and you'll lose in the midterms too. America doesn't want this. Did you miss the election, bro? What do you think just happened? But I'm always going to give you both sides. There are some people, and I use these people specifically because I have some experience with some of them personally. The first one's this guy, Felipe Reyes, who's a pretty kind of mercenary dude. This guy will do anything to win. He's not a nice guy, but he understands. He's, by the way, absolute Clintonista, like the king of the Clintonistas. This guy kisses the Clintons' ass like you wouldn't believe. There is some introspection occurring. I mean, it's happening publicly. Is it going to change the direction of the party? I don't know. The AOC far left and that guy, they're powerful. They may be shrinking, but they've become a concentrated, powerful interest in the Democrat Party. Here's Felipe Reyes on CNN saying, man, hey, I think we need to wake up if we want to win again. This battle is going to go on for a little while. And while this fog of war is happening, this is when we move. This is when we move. Watch this.
I'm not concerned right now what the right thinks about the Democratic Party. I'm concerned about what I think about the Democratic Party. I don't like, to echo the congressmen, all three of them, I don't like the fact that a small portion of our party is pretty much dictating where we are. That they are pretty much, we are being branded as the most extreme of us. It is not only politically problematic, as we just saw, because none of this stuff helped the other day. Without a doubt, it's a problem. But we need to take stock of why we are being held hostage to the far left. No one should be and wants to be kowtowing to the extremes of their own parties.
This guy does not speak without the permission of the Clintons, okay? Like little puppets, you know? And I got this guy doesn't open his mouth without the not so subtle imprimatur of the Clinton crew. The Bill Clinton wing of the party. Folks, I'm just telling you straight, okay? Receipts, man. Receipts matter, okay? The Bill Clinton wing of the party that was responsible for the Democrat Leadership Council after getting wiped out, Reagan, Bush, and then they came back with Bill Clinton and won with this fake moderate act, realizes they're not moderate. The Democrat Party will never be moderate again. They're going to try to fake being moderate. And I want you to be very savvy to this going forward. Keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out. Like, you got magnifying glasses on. Here's another one. Here's Van Jones, realizing they got themselves a serious problem. And one of their biggest problems, in addition to telling people girls are boys, they are not. In addition to telling people they should defund the police. In addition to telling people public safety doesn't matter, that Walgreens can lock up everything. In addition to telling people inflation doesn't matter. It's not working. I'll tell you who else doesn't matter. The media. We're in charge now. Bongino Army, we are in charge now. I've had mainstream media people reaching out left and right, asking me what we're doing. How did we build this thing? Here's the short answer. It's none of your business. I don't give a shit if you know or not. I know what you guys are up to. We snuck up on you. The Bongino Army's full of little ninjas. We're not the samurai out there on the field with the big decorative costumes. We come up and we're like little creepers, man. We get out there and then we just boom, boom, we do our thing. That's what we do. We sneak up on you. We've been really good at it. A lot of people are catching on, including Van Jones, who realizes that the mainstream media is full of shit. They have no power anymore. We're in charge now. You don't believe me? Listen to him.
We were making fun of Donald Trump for having thrown away his ground game and doing some weird stuff online. We thought that they were idiots. It turned out we were the idiots. We woke up in a body bag because while we were knocking on doors, they were making these phones into 24-hour-a-day political weapons for themselves. And so we got outflanked, outplayed, outbeat by people who told us the whole time that they knew what they were doing.
Yes. Folks, these phones you're looking at right here. Here's my phone, okay? You ever see me looking over? That's my phone right now. You notice I have Rumble Premium. I actually a subscriber myself. And no, it's not free for me. I gotta pay. But Rumble Premium, because I don't like the mid-roll ads on my show, so I put the Rumble Premium on. There you go. There's a chat right there. These phones have become little messaging weapons for us because you can watch my show on your tablet, on your computer. You don't need a cable box. You can sling it on you. Got a smart TV? Just go to the apps thing. Download the Rumble apps. You know you can do that? You know my wife watches the show and we have a Samsung, a smart TV in the house. All you do is download the app. You can watch it. Van Jones is starting to figure out, while the Democrats are focused on old school lit drops, you know what lit drops are? When you drop a little pamphlet at the door, vote for me, I'm Kamala Harris, I suck. That while they were doing that, what were we doing, the Bongino Army? What were we doing? Anybody remember? What was the word? We were executing. Well, you guys were out there dropping literature that probably got thrown in the garbage. What was my crew doing? My little army out there of people. We were out there recruiting 10, 20, 30, 50 people to go and actually like vote and stuff. Because we're in charge now. How's it feel? No, we're in charge. My social media pages are bigger than yours. My reach is bigger than yours. The show's bigger than yours. How does that feel? We're in charge now. And it's thanks to you. I can only watch it once. You guys have spread the word. We've got a ridiculous 188,700 people here right now blowing up my chat. You think the Washington Post can do that? The New York Times? You think CNN can do that? MSNBC? If they could do it, they would, but they can't. They can't. We do it. Here's Axios, which is a far left radical like communist rag, like Hammer and Sickle left. They really hate us too. Here's Axios, one of the founders, this guy Vanderhei, whatever. He's on MSNBC. Listen to this segment. This is the best one of all. This guy's actually starting to get it. I told you there was going to be a little bit of a reckoning. We'll see how far it goes. He's on MSNBC telling Willie Geist, hey, man, listen, I'm really sorry, but we just don't really matter anymore. Yeah, you don't. You're correct, but we do. Watch this.
How do Democrats, and frankly, how does legacy media need to change the way it thinks about getting information? I mean, a lot of the voters who went out and voted for Donald Trump, that so many people are wondering what happened here, they're not watching, frankly, this show. They're not reading the New York Times. They're not consuming media that way. And the Trump campaign found those voters where they live. So how do Democrats need to change the way they communicate to voters, if you think that's part of the problem?
For sure. I mean, I think all of us have to come to grips with legacy media is just not as important as it thinks it is.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not important at all. Matter of fact, you got your asses handed to you in this election. If you were important, you wouldn't have gotten your asses handed to you in this election. Ass right in the hand. See the ass? Here's the ass. Woo, hear that? Right in there. Handed on the ass. See? Justin's like, did we really need the visuals? We did. Asses handed. We got 100. Yes, we broke 190. 190,000 again. Can they do that? No, they can't. If they could do that, what would happen? They would have done it. Have they done it? No. Do we do it? Yes, we do it pretty much every day. Folks, the red pilling's happening everywhere too. You know Charlemagne, very popular guy. He has this show called The Breakfast Club. Very popular, out of reach. No disrespect on the business side. Guy knows what he's doing business-wise. However, he's been very wishy-washy on his politics. He seems to go back and forth. Sometimes you think the guy gets red-pilled, sometimes not. Whatevs, you do you, I do me. But here's Charlemagne after the election like, hey, man, listen, what's going on here? Like, did we miss something here? We got a little bit of a blind spot? Yes, we've been trying to tell you there's a huge blind spot. You guys have missed the whole Trump thing the entire time, especially with minority audiences. If you'd wake up and open your eyes, you'd see they don't think they have the same exact concerns as every other American. You just completely missed it. Watch this.
I will say this. I'm glad everybody's having a sense of optimism because the reality is we have no choice because we're here now. Donald J. Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States of America, like it or not. And we all hope for the best for this country. That's all we can do. But don't y'all find it strange that now that he's won, they're not calling him a threat to democracy? They're not calling him a fascist. I mean, damn, on Monday.
They're not calling him anything.
On Monday, they was just calling him that. I would think that, if you really believe that, then somebody's speech would be about how America effed up and how things are about to be really bad.
He's the most powerful man in the world now.
Well, it just makes you wonder how much of it did they really believe or how much of it was just politics.
Now, Morgan, also, I know.
Folks, the red pilling on this question is happening everywhere. How do I explain this better? Hold on. Let me take a little time out. I don't want to screw this up because this is really critical. If you are a leftist and you genuinely believe, but try for a second to revert to like Neanderthal thinking, correct? Like a lot of the far left does. And in your head, you really believe this guy is a Nazi and a fascist. In other words, he's going to get into office, imprison, kill people, and do all this horrible, awful stuff. Then I don't understand why you're so muted in your response after getting your ass handed to you on Tuesday. I don't understand. It's almost like you were faking it. And the answer is because you were. Folks, ask any of your friends who live in liberal cities. I've got a lot of friends who are up in New York. I'm from New York. They cannot believe how quiet it is. There's no Occupy Wall Street. There's no pink hats, if you know what I mean. The screamers aren't in the street. Sir isn't in the street. Sir! None of this is happening. I'm not telling you the left is nice and calm and put your swords down because they're going to disarm, politically speaking. That's not what I'm telling you at all. The left is nuts. I'm simply telling you that they've done it before. BLM, Antifa, 2016. Why isn't it happening now? Because of what Charlemagne just said. They never believed this bullshit in the first place. It was all made up, folks. The whole thing was bullshit the entire time. And why was it bullshit? Because there was a body of work in a prior 4-year Trump presidency where all of the fascist Nazi stuff, you said was going to happen if he got elected didn't actually happen last time. He is not an unknown. You're not like painting a face on a blank slate. There's already a face there. You got to paint over it. And everybody's like, hey, there's already a face. The left would have understood this. They wouldn't have gotten smoked. Folks, there's a big scandal brewing. And I left this story for last because I want this one to really be tattooed on your brain. This is not a left-right scandal. This is a real scandal because I think, let me just bottom line it up front here. Here's what I'm afraid of. Folks, I believe a lot of politicians out there may be subject to blackmail by a foreign government. Why? I want you to listen to this clip of Senator Marco Rubio on a weekend show about a massive, massive China-based attack on our cell phone system, where the rumor out there I'm hearing from people is that they got a lot of stuff, including people's voice calls. And trust me, the people they were talking, they were intercepting, were definitely some hitters. Listen to Rubio and you tell me what you think after listening to this. Is bad news. Check this out.
This massive and pervasive hacking by China of U.S. telecom companies is significant. Your colleague, Mark Warner, said it's the most significant breach he has ever seen in his entire time on the committee. Do you know if China has been able to access the audio of Americans' phone calls?
Well, I'm not going to comment on what they access, but I agree with Mark Warner's statement. It is an egregious, outrageous, and dangerous breach of our telecommunications systems across multiple companies. I'll leave it at that. I think as time goes on, we're going to learn more about it. Some of it will be made public. I think there's more that's still being gathered. It's a very serious situation that we face, and I think one that is quite threatening, maybe not directly to the election per se, but certainly to the national security of our country moving forward. It's a vulnerability that no one imagined or anticipated, but here it is.
Okay, folks, if Rubio is not commenting on if they intercepted, China that is, the audio content of selected people they were targeting's phone calls, the answer is yes. Now the question is, what the hell was China doing with it? You see a lot of suspicious activity in the coming months. Better start asking a lot of questions. You notice the media has been awfully quiet about this. Outside of a few stories on the periphery and things thrown, you haven't heard pretty much anything about it, have you? Really strange, huh? A massive infiltration of our network with the potential interception of audio for political leaders and others. I'm going to be keeping my eyeballs on that story, I promise you. And folks, thanks for all your support with stuff. I just want to emphasize again a very important point before we leave today. I'm not asking for anything. I only care about Donald Trump and protecting him and his interests. That's it. And the MAGA crowd. I just want to be clear. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not a deal cutter. I'm not any of that. I'm just here for you and for him. And that's it. I want to make sure we all understand that. But I appreciate all the nice messages I got. You guys are amazing. I've got most of them. So thank you very much. If you want the shirt, more, 4 more years, pile it on, kids. Pile it on, store.bongino.com. And please do me a favor, download the Rumble app. It is free. We have had an amazing couple of weeks with users. The platform is exploding. Download the Rumble app. Join us every single day. Rumble.com/Bongino or on the Rumble app. We're live at 11 a.m. You can watch on demand anytime. And please go give us a follow, The Dan Bongino Show, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. Helps us enormously. I deeply appreciate it. Please go do that today. Click that follow button. See you on the radio show here on Rumble in a few minutes and back here live tomorrow at 11.